Hey folks, Nathan Clegg, aka Anubis Writer here. I'm here to present my slime. I think it's pretty good. It's got a lot to offer to folks that don't actually have slimes for their games. So I do hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what we have. So jumping directly into the model itself, it's got plenty of animations in it. The model itself is good. I think the poly count's pretty good on it, and I will give an exact amount on the text portion of Unity's asset store page for it. I don't know the exact number right now, but I know it's around normal for a character like this. So let's go ahead and jump over to. I want to explain a few things before I do that. I want to show you guys the blend shapes. The blend shapes, I chose to go with blend shapes with the slime because it's just, it made more sense, and an armature didn't really make any sense for the slime, and that's just where I went with it. So, I mean, you can choose to use it or not. It's entirely up to you guys. But I like um, the ability that this gives you is to create animations that not even I would even think of in this. I tried to do a video earlier, it didn't work out too well. Too many noises and stuff going on. Uh, so I just trashed it because I wanted you guys to see, you know, progressively like everything that I was doing. I didn't want a bunch of cuts in my videos. So that aside, the video was about taking specific blend shapes and making a jump for the slime because the slime at the time didn't have a jump. But I ran into some issues where the animations weren't actually doing what they were supposed to, and nobody wants to watch a 3 hour long introduction video. So, moving on, basically what I did is I just picked some shapes and I made I made a jump animation out of it. But before we go into me introducing the jump animation, I kind of want to explain what I mean. So this is our default shape right here, and then you have the idles that kind of flow in with that. But just imagine you can take this flat that I've put in here, which will make your slime completely flat in many different shapes. But then you can take and you can make it flat in one shape, and then you can kind of like mess with it with the other shapes. Like you could do some pretty crazy stuff. Like I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but there it is. Or you can kind of ease up on one and add a little bit of the other, and you got yourself a whole new shape. Yes, you got to keep in mind that you got to keep track of these numbers over here. But when you're designing your animations for this, that's easy. You just key your number in, like right click. Well, you got to be in preview mode. And then you got to set up your flattens, and then you got to key in using update. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to overwrite what I have already. But I think you might be getting my point. Like there's so many different options with this. Like even this shape right here. If you don't like this shape, you want your slime to be maybe a little bit shorter and smaller. You can do that. Like you can take this flat here and kind of pull it down. This flat one, pull it down. You got yourself a whole new slime here. And you wouldn't think that any of this other stuff will work with it, but there's the idle right there for a whole new slime. Um, and the moves work for it too. I mean, the sky's the limits with these blend shapes. I think it's a pretty amazing thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I think you guys get the picture about the blend shapes. I kind of want to show you what I did with the uh, the jump. at the same time that I'm showing you all of what's already in this. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. So we have several different attacks. They'll all be in the demo. So this is like the shape of a fist, like punching upwards. It's a shape of a fist punching outwards. And then I kind of took and blended the two together, so it's like a fluid motion of up and then forward. It's not bad. Doesn't look too bad. Then there's this like spike coming out, and I took that and kind of made it like squid-like, tentacles moving around. And I did a couple of different of those. Like you have the one that just kind of like, it just got too close to it, it pops out, and stabs you. Then you got this one, and you could even add on where it just like stays like that and whips its arms up and down. All of that is in the animation, super easy to do. Then there's that one where it goes out, then stays, then does the thing in and out. Then we have this kind of like pushing away animation. I figured that could be, you could do a push, you could do a defense thing, you could do like, you could even set it up to where if a player's getting too close to it, instead of this animation doing what it's doing now, like where it's just like instantly popping out to its radius, it slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which I'll get into that in a minute because there's some pretty cool exploding animations that I've done for the cube shape of it. And then there's this, that's basically that, and then it just kind of goes into a slam. You can imagine with some sounds and some particle effects. This could be pretty cool. You can imagine fighting something like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you the flats. Those are all the flats that are, built into it. Like I showed you earlier, you can make more. And then let's go ahead and cube up. You can see that you're a cube. I'm actually going to cube back down and move around so you can see that it has move animations. Before I go any further, I'm going to show you the jump. So I took the fist up this and I blended it with the I think it was the flat, and kind of stretched out the slime. And this is our jump. Like it stretches as it slowly starts to fall to the ground, and then kind of slams into the ground. You could imagine with some particle effects, this could be pretty cool. Nothing major with it. It looks pretty cool to me. But it's not actually built into it. Like I just threw some stuff together and made a jump. I didn't actually add a jump to this line, but there it is. Um, Now we'll go ahead and cube up and go into the attacks for this one. I didn't actually add the moves around in this, but by the time you guys get it, there will probably be like a demo or something that you can just mess around with that'll have the move in it. There'll be more to this whole demo scene, maybe being able to break some blocks or something with the attacks. But here's another one of the attacks. It's like a hammer. Turns into a hammer and slams into the ground. A whip, like whipping. There's two versions of that. More of the versions of like pushing things away, spiking out on pushing things away. Then like a simpler, like it goes out and then spikes out. Um, Here's the blowing up one. You imagine that could be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Each one of these is different that I'm playing. Like, so here's one. Here's two. You can see the animation is a tad bit different with each one of them. That's three. And then there's this whip that has like spikes that come off of it at the end of it. Just yeah, it's pretty cool. But that's about it. That's what's there. Um, and like I said, the sky's the limits on adding more animations to what's there with the blend shapes that are already there. I can see many different possibilities for this slime. Not to mention, you know, if I get a hankering for wanting to add more, that's a possibility too. I'm not committing to it, but it is a possibility for the future. So there's a slime. Thank you guys for watching. Um, I'll probably do another video like this one, but it'll be just purely the demo scene, really just kind of showing off each individual animation, and not so much about the ins and outs of how it's created. Before I actually dip out of here, I wanted to also explain, like, this has attach points. The attach points I actually built into it, um, so that it, those attach points, like if I turn the other cubes on inside the attach points here, they actually are animated into the animations. I did all that in here as well, um, so that you could do, like, say you had a body or something you wanted to attach on the inside of this, and then maybe have a particle effect of decay over time, and then eventually it would turn into like bones. There are many different ways that you can do this. This whole thing will be included as a prefab in the pack as well, so that you guys can get an idea of how you can add this stuff to it if you don't already know. I'm just assuming that you're new to Unity, and a lot of this will just be easier if you have like a prefab that shows you what you can and cannot do. Although the cans are very low. Um, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.